Hi, this is Gilli Moon here. I'm a singer-songwriter and I'm here to give you some tips today on stage performance. And not just stage performance, but being a rock star performer. And that includes the creative side of performing on stage, as well as a little bit of the business know-how in performing art and gigs. You can also check me out at gillimoon.com. That's Gilli moon.com. I'm also the CEO of Warrior Girl Music, a record label, and SongsAlive, the largest songwriters membership organization. That's an international one in the world. That's songsalive.org. I also have a website called rockstarperformancebootcamp.com. So what I'll give you today will be some snippets of what I also share on that site. So here goes. Let's talk about being a rock star performer. So there are a couple of things that I think are key. Of course, the most important thing is that your performance is the most important and integral part of being a performer. And it sounds like I've just said an oxymoron, but sometimes we get carried away with everything else and then we forget about the performance itself. So performing on stage means you are not only performing during your set, but you're performing the minute you arrive at the venue. You are the artist arriving for your show. So that includes being polite with the venue owners, with the manager. It includes having etiquette, proper etiquette with the sound engineer, knowing when you're allowed to go up on stage to set up, working with the entire team that's at the venue in a professional manner. And then, of course, when you do your show, you are really doing it with a smile and you're just, you deliver a great performance. And then when you finish your performance, you know how to get off stage, greet your fans, say thank you to your venue team, and before you leave, and then leaving with a smile. So I think professionalism is really key in everything. Another tip that I want to give you is you should know your venue facts. So that means you know what is on offer before you perform. Are you getting money to perform? Are you getting a split from the door? Are you getting a split off the bar? Do you have to sell tickets? Do you know if there's any meals or drinks for you or for your band? Take care of your musicians that play with you, and anything that's legal, contractual, make sure you knock that out before you perform, and that way there's no kind of hidden factors when you get to the gig. So, okay, so it's time to get on stage, and this is what I call own the stage, all right? So that means that you are going to understand everything about your stage, and hopefully you have some time to do a sound check or a line check. Sound check is a full kind of check with your band to be able to hash out some songs. A line check is probably 30 seconds just to make sure there's sound coming out of the speaker. Make sure you know what's available as well. But get to know your stage before the audience arrives or the curtains open or whatever. Feel it out. Understand that you are not trapped behind the microphone. You have this whole stage to work. And so just getting to understand where the cables are running, where you're going to stand or sit, or how you're going to hold your instrument or hold the mic, where your band members are going to play. You want to take the time to do that before you start. Alright, you also want to take the time to get the sound right. So I just talked about a sound check and a line check. Now if you've got the possibility to do a sound check, then go ahead and run a couple of songs. I prefer if there's an audience already there. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of a curtain, or they're not outside waiting, they might be in the bar, so to speak. Try not to give away your songs. Try and do something else, a jam or something, just to get the band sounding right. And then it's really just for the sound engineer to make sure that all the balances are correct for you. But take the time to do that. And even if you only get a line check, let's say the time is of the essence at this venue, and he's saying 1 minute and you just got to plug in and go, you're allowed to take a moment don't be like, prima donna about it, but take the moment to just say, no, I can't hear, more volume please. And even during your first song, if you have to get going into your first song before you're fully comfortable, make sure you use your hand signals, up, down, tap the microphone if that's the up or down sound, or if the instrument needs to go up or down. Start to learn to use your sign language, because the sound engineer's job is to look at you at all times. They should be focused on you, or the band leader at all times, to understand that the sound is right. And if it's not right after that first song, make sure you stop, make sure you tell the sound engineer through the microphone, we need to get the levels right. So just take the time to do that. Alright, so another tip that I'd like to give you is about your actual performance on stage. So you want to tell your story or stories as if it is for the first time. It can be really hard if you're doing like show after show, month after month, year after year. Your songs might start to feel old to you. But to a new audience, it's brand new, it's fresh, right? So think of yourself in their shoes. They want to hear that song for the very first time, and they want to feel that you're singing it as if it's like for the first time. So tell your story in your lyrics and in your songs and in your performance that as fresh as you possibly can. Imagine what it would sound like to the audience first. And again, if you're getting tired of the songs because you're playing them over and over again, you can change it up. Rehearse in advance, or if you're more spontaneous like I tend to be with my band, spice it up, change the tempo, do something different, add a little extra just so it makes it good for you. It doesn't have to be exactly how you recorded it on your album. A live show can always be a little different, and that's the pleasure of doing a live show. You can have an album that's produced, polished in the studio, recorded that way, but when you come to perform live, you can give them a real live feeling, a different feeling each time. That's okay to do that. So while you're performing on stage, your eyes are the way to convey your emotion. So I've seen so many performers got their eyes closed, which is cool for like a moment if you're going deep or whatever, or a ballad or something, but try and keep your eyes open and start engaging with people in the audience. Now you don't want to stare at them for too long because they start to get like nervous that you're looking at them, but you want to kind of show that they're there. And sometimes when you say one line to somebody, they feel it more if you're in touch with them, eye contact. And then obviously not too long because they get nervous, so then switch your gaze, and then look at someone else and use that technique, and try and keep your eye gaze for at least one full sentence, for one full phrase or stanza of your song, so that it completes. If you're nervous about looking at the audience, look over them at the back, and just find what we call in acting the fourth wall. The fourth wall is basically a wall that you create that you are looking at, that's not anyone in the audience, that gives you some focal points. So start thinking before you even do your set, what are maybe 3 focal points that you will notice and look at during your set, and you can always go back to that. There's that window in the back of the room, there's the sound booth there's the bar over there. Okay, they're my 3 focal points, if you don't want to be engaging with the folks in the room, or a little bit of both. But always show how you feel. So if it's like a ballad and you're sad and you're talking about lost love or something, use that emotion. Stare, open your eyes, and then use your face. Your emotional face is what's really cool. If it's an angry song, we want to feel that anger. If it's a happy song, we want to feel that happiness. Really, get to control your face, tell the story, listen to your own lyrics as you're performing. And then of course, you want to do the same with your way you do the guitar, or you're doing the piano, or you're conducting the band. You want to have that strength or demureness depending on the style of the song. Every song tells a story. So what do we do in between songs? I have seen some artists ramble on and on and on. Probably they're nervous. Others don't say anything. You want to make a conscious decision as to what you want to say or what you don't want to say. And everything that you say should be fairly rehearsed. Like you know what you're going to do to set up this song. It's great to set up the song, to introduce it, to send a meaning behind it. You don't have to, but if you're going to do it, be very specific as to why you're talking rather than singing, so that we don't feel like the clock is ticking, or maybe you only have like a 15-minute set and you really have to keep them going. So think about tastefully how you want to set the song. But again, that storytelling is part of who you are as a performer, and it's important. The most important part of talking in a set, in between songs, or at the before your last song, even more so, is to promote yourself. That is the best time to promote yourself. Hi, thank you for listening. My name is Gilli Moon. If you want to come and check out my music, you can go to www.gillimoon.com, or you can find me on iTunes or Amazon, or you can come to me at the back and I've got some albums for sale. That's the kind of thing that you want to say before your last song. Don't forget to say who you are, even if you think they know who you are, or even if you have nothing to sell yet. You should always talk about yourself. Find me on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Spell out your name, GILLIMOON.com. Make it really clear. This is your time to shine just before your last song, and even when you end. But sometimes they're already thinking about the next act when you finish your songs, so it's better to do it just before your last song. All right, so the other kind of tip that I want to give is, not every performance is perfect, and you may not feel confident and perfect all the time, but the best advice that I can give you is to always do your best. It doesn't matter if there's 4 people in the room, 2 people in the room, or 2,000 people in the room. You want to deliver the best performance that you can do for every person in that room every time. Sometimes we get despondent because we might turn up at a venue where we're not finding enough support, enough people, or maybe a new place that we don't feel confident in. So you never know who's in the room. That 2 people could tell that next 2 people, that can tell 10 more people, that can tell 100 people, and all of a sudden you've gone viral. It is really important to just always do your best. Because it is a journey. Performing, being an artist, being a songwriter, being on stage is all about a journey, and it doesn't matter who's there. You're doing it ultimately for you. So enjoy your performance. Be the consummate artist. And if you want to learn more, check out my website, rockstarperformancebootcamp.com. That's rockstarperformancebootcamp.com. Check out my music at gillimoon.com, or come over to thecreativewarrioracademy.com and find out more about how you can engage, empower, and interact with other artists and with your career, and become that rockstar performer. Cheers.